Hello teacher, my name is Jess. Today I'll tell you about a dangerous wind. And the wind today we are going to tell you is about tornadoes. And now let's come to the first one. Tornado warning. When dark clouds fill all the sky, a great danger sometimes appears. This danger quickly turning tower of air called a tornado, and it is the one of the most dangerous things in nature. Maybe the tornado is very common when we tell you about the dangerous things in the natural and why it is so dangerous to everyone in our world, and now we are going to learn about it. A tornado warning is an emergency notice issued when the tornado has been sighted or detected by weather radar. It means there is a very serious and imminent threat to life and property. And the tornadoes can be found before the day that the tornado will happen on the weather forecast or radar that the scientists have found it. But sometimes the tornadoes will have to come before or not as in the same time as the weather forecast have been told the people on the app. When you received this warning, you should take immediate action to find safe shelter. The safest place is a basement or storm shelter. When you hear or you can receive this warning, you need to have first in the safe shelter, and the safest is our stay inside our house until the tornado mm, the tornado finished, or you can stay in the storm shelter. If there is none, move to a small interior room on the lowest floor of the starting building, away from windows. If you don't have the room to stay in and the tornado is coming very quickly, you can find a small interior room on the lowest floor of the storage building, and you stay away from the windows, and and you need to stay away from windows or doors made out of glasses. This is different from a tornado watch, which simply advises that weather conditions may lead to the formation of a tornado. Let's see the next one, and now we can see that we can know where the tornado starts. Tornadoes can occur in many places around the world, but some areas have a much bigger, higher frequencies and occurrence. The United States is the country most affected, especially in the tornado LA areas in the Great Plains of North America. And you note that England or United States have a lot of tornadoes or flooded or anything like the dangerous wind in the world. And the United States have a lot of it, and the most effect. In addition, tornadoes also occurs frequently in Australia, China, Russia, and some European countries. In Vietnam, tornadoes are not uncommon, often appear at the change of seasons, and can occur in many religions, especially on the northern mountains religions and in the southern religion. And it is uncommon in Vietnam, but Vietnam don't have the tornadoes like United States, but Vietnam in the southern or northern have the flood. It's flood very it's have the many effect from the flood, from the many of the wind, and it is very effect. And now let's learn about shape and how tornadoes work. Tornadoes are typically narrowed, funnel-shaped columns of vortex that intersect from the base of thunderstorms in the ground. However, this shape can vary from thin, rope-like columns to giant, which shaped tornadoes that are wide and dense and they are tall. Most of the tornadoes are small and only stayed on the ground for 5 to 10 minutes. It is very short times. However, even a small tornadoes can do a lot of dangerous. Sometimes tornadoes are very big and it stayed for 1 hour or a half of hours. Like the big tornadoes can have over half hour 3.5 hours. Over 600 people dies. As in the worm, moist air rises from the ground. It shows in the tube when turning it into the vertical column. This column then accelerates and condenses, forming a funneled cloud. When the column touches the ground, it has official becomes a tornado with extremely strong winds which can reach over 480 kilometers an hour, and it is very terrible destruction. And now let's learn about how to avoid tornadoes. To avoid tornadoes and safely to respond to tornadoes, it is important to be prepared before a tornado hits. Create a family's energy plan and fatally, the safest places in your home is to take shelter, such as in basement or small room without windows. If you receive the tornadoes warning, you can create in the families and emergency plans, or you can only have enough of food and water bottle, and you can have in a small room without windows or the doors made out of glasses. That is all the good ways for you to avoid from the tornadoes. When a tornado's warning is issued, act immediately by moving to the shelter, away from windows by using items such as blankets or mattresses to cover your body. When the tornado is coming, you need to move in more quickly to your shelter, away from windows, doors, or glasses, and using the items such as blankets or mattresses to cover your body. Get out or the storm shelter to avoid from the tornadoes. If your outdoors are in the vehicle, find a sturdy building or lying down in the ditch after the tornado has passes. Check for everyone's safety. Use caution when moving around and continue to stay informed by authorities. And when you are outdoors and you receive the tornadoes warning, you are in the vehicle, like in the cars or in some bus, you can need to fight in the sturdy building and lie down in the ditch. And this building needed to be narrowed from you to the building, and you needed to come into the building quickly as you can. After the tornado has passes, check it for everybody's safety, and you need to see that everyone is in safety, and then you leave from the next building. That's all. Thank you for hearing me. Goodbye.